Welcome to the 2018 Mattoni Karlovy Half Marathon, presented by RunCzech here on Česká televize. This is the 6th running of the event. Got a beautiful evening for it, but it has an entirely new format regarding the elite field. Carlo Capalbo, the president of the organizing committee and the chairman of the IAAF Road Running Commission, is working with European athletics in the newly created Euro Heroes program. 2 of RunCzech's 7 gold label races, this one and České Budějovice in 2 weeks, will have elite fields with only European runners. The hope is that this will increase their visibility and their confidence, raise their performances, and create icons that the local population can identify with, thus creating Euro heroes. The beautiful city of Karlovy Vary is a United Nations heritage site. It's got a population of about 50,000 people, which makes it the smallest city in the world with a IAAF gold label road race, joining New York, London, Berlin, Tokyo, about a total of 24 cities worldwide. The course is changed a bit this year, runs primarily along the Tepla River, so named because of the warm springs that flow into it, and that really give Karlovy Vary its raison d'etre. We've got about 4,000 runners out there on the start line. Beautiful evening for running, not too warm. The elite field is a mixture of local runners from the Czech Republic, plus, as you can see from this list, the Ukraine is definitely represented with 5 runners, Spanish, French, Slovak. So it's a nice mix of primarily Central European, Eastern European from the Ukraine, and a large group of Czech runners who will be competing for separate prize money. This should create a group of runners able to feed off of one another and able to use the pack to work together. There we see Olha from Ukraine. There's the women's list. Probable favorite would be Eva Vrabtsova Navtova. She is recently set a new Czech record of 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 1 second. She broke a Czech record that had stood for 24 years. Little last-minute warm-ups. We're about 6 minutes away from the actual start of the race. Course records here are very strong and probably won't be threatened tonight. The course record for men is 1 hour and 54 seconds, which was set last year by Wilfred Kimutai. And the women's race record is 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 19 seconds by Yvonne Jeligat. Both Kenyan runners, and there are no African runners, there are no Asian runners, there are no American runners, North American or South American runners here today, except within the fun runners or the non-elite runners. And we see Eva getting warmed up. She's a former cross-country skier of considerable repute. She's competed in 3 Olympics as a skier, and now one as a runner. She's moved from the skiing to the running. Probable favorites for the race this evening include Sergei Libid of Ukraine. He has the fastest personal best, 101. But he hasn't raced in a while, and I would not be surprised to see some of the younger runners. Also, he's over 40 years old, so I would not be surprised to see some of the younger runners, whether from Ukraine or Spain or the Czech Republic, overtake him. He did have an injury last winter and has laid off of racing for quite a while. We're still a few minutes away from the start. Beautiful evening, good conditions. Temperature in the low teens for this evening run. Few clouds to keep the direct sun off the runners. And there is plenty of aid stations to get drinks from. There in the blue Nike shirt was Alexander Sitkovsky, also from Ukraine. He's a young fan who just competed in the family run, which was held directly before the start of this race. There was over 2,500 people in that event. Eva seems to be in a good mood. The race director, Vasek Skrivanik, there with the beard, getting ready for the start. You see Ihor Olafarenko, Romanenko, and the countdown to the start has begun. It's the governor of the local region here in the Czech Republic, the Karlovy Vary region. Got his up. And it's underway, the 2018 Mattoni Karlovy Vary Half Marathon. 4,000 runners on their way. This is a fairly hilly course. Not big hills, no mountains, but certainly it's not a flat, fast type of championship course. So we don't expect sub 1 hour for the men or sub 1:07 for the women. But with this new format, we should see some good racing. And perhaps we've concentrated on the times rather than the racing in the past in some events. The idea is to get to that finish line first. As Yuki Kawauchi and Des Linden did earlier this year in Boston over fields that they were never supposed to defeat. Already looks like there's a group of about 15 men there, and Eva kind of hanging on to the back of that group. But it's very, very early. They've only gone a few hundred meters. The music, by the way, is the Vltava by Smetana, part of his suite called My Country. Even though we are not on the Vltava River here, we are on the Tepla River, so named because of all the warm springs that flow into it. Here we see one of the colonnades. There are 14 springs in this city, and it's very popular as a resort for people coming for health cures, take the waters, tourists from Germany. It's very popular with Russian tourists as well. Now they have an international airport here and some direct flights to the Algarve in Portugal, and I believe to Moscow. Our leading men will be shooting for about 1 hour and 3 minutes. That's the goal. Certainly they have conditions that would indicate that that's possible. The women are perhaps a little slower. They're looking for 1 hour and 13 low. It's a beautiful old city. The streets lined with these buildings from the early in the 20th century, many of them from the 19th century. There's an interesting sand sculpture. As I said, this is the 6th edition of this race, and the town has really gotten behind it. As I also said before, it's the smallest city in the world with a gold label race. Now that will be changing probably next year. There's the group of people running for those who can't run. children with disabilities, adults with disabilities that are being pushed around the course. A very worthy cause. The city is a sister city to Carlsbad in California. And indeed, the German name for this city is Carlsbad. Last year we had a visitor from that area, Tracy Sundlund, who shared duties with me on this broadcast. I would have been happy to see him here again this year. It's always nice to have a partner. To our folks, being led by the mayor, who's run this race every year, I believe, and he enjoys helping people to reach their goals. So those who wish to run a 2-hour half marathon just have to follow the mayor. The city is over 600 years old, about 650 years old. And it's always enjoyed a vibrant life thanks to the springs that flow here, these colonnades. And as I said, there are 14 of them, house the springs that really drive this community, along with the half marathon and the very famous Karlovy Vary Film Festival held in July every year. Many, many famous Hollywood and Bollywood and UK stars have visited over the years. "14 kilometers on the way back, folks, sorry. So we will take a short look at the family run, which, as I said, was held earlier before this race. More than 2,500 people signed up, many of them wearing their shirts they received when they joined us. Parents with their children were the primary entrance in this event. It's about 3 kilometers, maybe a little shorter than that, I think, this year. There's some really future runners being developed here. And that's the idea, to get people running. Now we're back to the half marathon. And the children in the chairs, again, it's a part of getting people moving, getting them running, hopefully improving their health, certainly their mental health, their well-being, which running has a tendency to do if you don't take it to an extreme. Beautiful city, it truly is. And you can see some of the shop fronts, you can see some Russian Cyrillic alphabet is fairly common because there are many cities, many storefronts that cater to Russian visitors. As the lead men, we've got seven men in this group. Usame is an interesting, Usame Benabu. He's got a personal best of 103.35, so he knows how to run a 103 half marathon. He's from Spain, I believe originally of Moroccan origin, but he is a Spanish citizen. Roman on the right is one of our Ukraine athletes. And on the left, I don't recognize that runner. Hopefully we'll get some split times and be able to tell you how they're progressing. See Sergey Libed in the lead group. Mehdi Frere from France. Getting some applause from the runners heading out in the other direction. We should be approaching 5K shortly. We'll try to get you a split at that point. So we've got Ukraine, France, Spain. And it looks like Eva's already by herself early on. Without pacemaking. She's on her own to see what she can do. She's come a long way. She finished 7th in the New York City Marathon last November, which was a big step up for her. She ran a 2:29, but in a stellar field there. So that was an outstanding achievement. And she has continued to improve since then. Interesting, there must not be a headwind the way they're spread all over the road there. They're passing by one of the additional spa locations. There are a couple of buildings in town that were built during the Soviet era in the 1970s, I believe. That is one of them. Another one is the hotel where the elite athletes and the staff are staying, the Thermal Hotel. It's the tallest building in town. Beginning to go single file here. I think we're breaking up that pack that we had of 7 runners. They're heading up towards the Grand Hotel Pop, which has been the site of many film shoots in the past, most notably Casino Royale with Daniel Craig a few years ago. Also, Whoopi Goldberg film and several others. It's actually uphill here. Not a steep hill, but it is a grade up. Looks like the group's reduced to about 3 and then 2 behind them. 4. I'm sorry, 4. Oops, we lost our camera. Some of the guys already falling off that lead pack. Some of the lead Czechs, actually. And there's Eva all by herself, accompanied by a cameraman and no one else. She, she appears to have a rather insurmountable lead if she doesn't roll up. Sergey is surprising me. He's hanging right in there with the leaders. She looks good. She's motoring right along. I know she prefers to run in a group, and that was a big help in New York for her because they had a group of about 8 women that ran together for most of the race until Shalane Flanagan and Mary Katani and one other runner broke away from that pack after they had reached Central Park. So Ricardo Serrano from Spain is in that group at the lead. Sergey Lebed from Ukraine. There you can see one of the rises on this course. There are several. It is not a flat, fast course. It's a test. Sometimes that up and down can be an advantage. It actually uses a little different muscles as you progress through the event. And for people who are good hill runners, this is certainly the place to do it. Some of the good local runners or visitors. These are still runners running well under 2 hours. Very respectable times. These are fit people. Good to see them out here. Nice little downhill stretch. Chance to stretch their legs before the next little uphill. Christina Dvorak and Marcella Yogalova, Christina Dvorak are both 2 young Czech runners who will be vying for the podium, I think. unless she has serious problems, of course, it looks like Eva is going to win the race. But now we are out in the country side, or at least away from the Old Town part of the city. Hussein Benabou from Spain, still pushing the pace. He's been the protagonist for this whole early part of this event. Roman trying to stride with him. Certainly Hussein looks like the stronger of the two at this point, but it's early. They should be approaching 10K in a couple of minutes here. Wish we could get a split so we could better judge how they're doing. They're hoping to go 29:50 for the there's Serhii Lebed and Ricardo. Ricardo Serrano. Ricardo's got a PR of 107. Serhi's, as noted before, has a 101, but that was a while ago. I would be surprised if he could duplicate that here today. But it looks like he's in third and still moving quite well. Of course, they're less than halfway through, so time will tell. I don't think the first two are gaining much on him, but I don't think he's getting anything back either. Looks like a couple possible rain clouds up ahead. The temperature is good, the wind is good. Rain might make the course a little slick, which would slow things down a bit. There's the aggressor, Hussein. Roman sticking with him. Romanenko and Hussein Benabou are your leaders. 10K in 30:11, so they're about 20 seconds off of their hoped for pace. So perhaps a minute slower than the 102.57 they had shot for, which would bring them in just under 104, 103 high. On this course, that is not a bad time. Lots of twists and turns which keep their pursuers out of sight. And Eva is obviously the class of this field. I think the question for her is how fast can she go on a course like this? But she ran that New York race, which is also not a flat, fast, record-setting type of course. She ran that quite well. And her strength from all those years of running, doing cross-country skiing is obvious. She may not have the kick at the end, but she certainly has the strength. A couple runners coming up on her. That's what she likes, to get behind some men and use them as a windbreak and as a gauge of her time. That's Mitya Kroos from Slovakia. She's definitely working to hang on to them. Kroos obviously started off easy and has increased his pace a bit, but still, he's not that far ahead of her. And his PR is 106.15, almost 5 minutes faster than hers. Cheering going on there. Some spectators looking for confirmation of their cheering. and the mass. A little downhill stretch, feels good. Cheering them on, folks. There you see these 19th century and early 20th century buildings lining the cobblestone streets downtown Karlovy Vary. Beautiful city, really is, which is why it attracts so many tourists. There's some our number 3 and 4 runners, Sergey and Ricardo, and here's our 1 and 2, Roman and Husame. Definitely Husame that has been the aggressor. They're both working pretty hard. So it looks like this is the fight for 1 and 2, and behind them they have the fight for that 3rd spot on the podium. Although we still haven't reached 15 kilometers, so there's some changes could happen, definitely. Feeling the warmth a bit. Roman gets a little water on his forehead and a little in his stomach. Mattoni, which is a major sponsor of this event, was born here in Karlovy Vary because of the springs here. Mattoni mineral water is one of the biggest sellers in Central Europe, and certainly have been a great sponsor of RunCzech races since the beginning. I've got a bottle of it right here next to my broadcast station. Looks like Eva's found a friend, which could be very, very, very helpful for her. If he can maintain steady pace, she will definitely stay with him. Passing through some of the residential areas, post-Second World War apartment blocks. She is working, and so are they, Roman and Husame. I think they both see this as an opportunity to get a win that they would not have had there been African or Asian or American runners in this field. It is a good opportunity for them. It is a chance to help make their name. They appear to be sweating more than I would have imagined. Perhaps it's warmer out there than I realized. Or maybe the clouds are creating a little humidity. Ihor is another one of the Ukrainian runners. Sergey looks like he's hurting a bit. And this is one of those uphill stretches. It should be at about 14 kilometers very soon. They come back into the city, into the old town part of the city. Rok Pohar from Slovenia. And number 6 is Alexander Sitkovsky, another Ukraine runner. There was a good contingent of Ukrainian runners, 5 of them, I believe, in the race. And they're all running pretty well. Aha, a break in the there's 14K. They have slowed a bit. Sergey and Ricardo still fighting for that 3rd spot. Perhaps 2nd if Husame drifts back any further. The leaders should be approaching 15K. Very shortly, in about a minute. There's Rok Pohar from Slovenia. Roman has put a move on. And is pulling away. And the cameraman is riding over the cobblestones. But they're back in the old town part of the city with about 6K to go. Eva has passed her helper, and she's pushing on. Niels Thelussen from the Netherlands has joined them. Good, she's got a group to run with. That's helpful for her. May not be helpful for them, but it's certainly helpful for her. Have somebody to key on. There's another one of the elite men just ahead. Looks like Pavel Rubicon from the Czech Republic. One of the leading Czech runners. Maybe she can go after him. Eva has expressed an interest in running the European Championship in Berlin, the full marathon, or perhaps going back to New York. She certainly likes New York. She ran in the mini marathon and the marathon last year in New York, and I think she would like to do both of those again. There she is at 14 kilometers, 47 minutes, 17 seconds. Quite good, actually. She's on pace to get that Czech record, course record. There's Olha. Kotowska from Ukraine. Running with Pavel Prochaska from the Czech Republic. And there's a group of women, Kristina Dvorakova, Marcela Yoglova. That, I think, is the second group of women. Fighting for positions on the podium. Kristina looks pretty relaxed, more so than the other two. Interesting arm carriage. Jenny Spink of Great Britain hanging with them. But she looks like she's working harder than either one of the two Czech girls. Petra Kaminkova, one of the local heroes, or a Czech hero. She's in her mid-40s now, but she's won countless, 42, I believe, or 43 Czech championships over the years. She, for many years, was the #1 Czech distance runner. And she won races in the Netherlands and many other European countries, Germany and so on. Petra is really a crowd favorite in the Czech Republic. She's from a small village near Olmos. Where the RunCzech series will continue in about a month. In the black is Ivana Sekharova, one of Petra's main competitors in the Masters category. In the white is Irina Samova from Belarus. Petra looks like she's working much harder than they are, but she's ahead of them. And Eva's ahead of all of them. Nils Thielusen has a personal best of 1:12.13. So Eva's actually a little faster in her personal best, but he may serve as a good guide for her. He's really got a marathoner's stride. Not much back kick at all. Comes Petra. She's got 2 sponges. Must be warm out there. And behind her in the black is Ivana Sekharova. Sekharova is from the area here. She's a school teacher, and she's competing to be #1 from this region. But she's finished second the last 3 years in the Czech Derby to Petra. Irina does not look like she's feeling too good. Another downhill stretch for some of the back of the pack. Roman's opened up a substantial lead. It looks like maybe, what, 30 meters? He's actually looking better than he did earlier when he was behind Hassani. I think he feels better now that he's got the lead. A little adrenaline rush from thinking that he might win. Checking for his splits. About 3 kilometers, 16 or 18? Looks like on that side was 18, which means he has about 3 kilometers to go. And unless he falls apart completely, this is his race. Yeah, it's more like 50 kilometers, 50, 50 meters now, the lead. Little rise. And I don't think Sergey or Ricardo are likely to catch Usame unless he has serious problems. So perhaps we're looking at first and second for today. Pretty tough hills here. He's probably about 2 kilometers from the finish. There it is, 19 kilometers, right there. Good to know. Some local residents getting on camera. He's got a nice downhill back into the main part of the city, back towards the finish. He wants to drink. Didn't get it. There's that Soviet-era spa that I mentioned. He's looking better, actually, than he did early in the race. Heading towards 20 kilometers. At this point, he's on his way to victory. Got a little over a kilometer to run. Foreshortening of the long lens on the camera makes it a little difficult to tell whether Husame is coming back on him or not, but I don't think so. No. If anything, he's increased his lead a bit. Really taking advantage of a slight downhill. Thinking about that 1,500 euros that he can collect with a win here. Right now he's just thinking about getting to that finish. One last rise. And there it is. Heading for home. Good finish, an excellent finish. He's pretty close to his personal best, which is 103.22. He's going to be within a minute of that. Get under 104. Yes. Excellent run. Excellent run. Bottle of Mattoni. He was looking for something to drink, and he's getting it. And here comes Husame, not that far back. 104.15 or thereabouts. No more than about 20 seconds back, and Sergey has hung on for third, it looks like. I'm surprised, pleasantly so. I know he had the best PR coming in, but as I said, he hadn't run for quite a while because of an injury. So this is an excellent performance for him. I think all three of these guys deserve plaudits. He might even get under 105 here. Perhaps not, no, not quite. 105.06 or thereabouts. Excellent run for him. A nice welcome back to competitive racing. And is this Ricardo? It is. Ricardo Serrano from Spain. In fourth place, under 106. Another good performance. Those four guys had separated themselves from the others early on. And now we have Ihor, or Igor if you're saying it in Russian, I guess. Olafarenko from Ukraine. He has a 103.49 personal best, but on this course, this is a good performance. So the Ukraine was first, third, and fifth, which gives them the team title if there were such a thing. If this were cross country. Sergey, I didn't mention, but Sergey, who finished third. Next we have Rock Puhar from Slovenia. Alexander Sidrovsky. And Andra, the first Czech runner, 107. Excellent performance for him. Andra Fayar. His personal best is only 107.13, so he was very close to that. Whoop, stomach problem. And there is Eva. Amazing. Coming down the hill, heading for glory. Still looks good. Still pushing the pace. She hasn't fallen apart at all. Through the tunnel. Up the little rise, and then turn the corner and head for home. Nice stride. Looks as good as she did at the start, really. .500 meters to go. Let that rise out of the way. It's one of the steeper portions of the course. She's working now. .111, extraordinary on this course. .111.54, super. She is one happy young woman. Definitely broke the Czech record for this event. Olha from Ukraine, looks like she may be second. Yep, she's heading down the hill to the tunnel. Easy Chiverny coming in. He has a 110 PR, 110.29 to be exact. So this was not probably what he was hoping for today. Kristina Dvorakova. It's hard to tell whether they've missed anybody, but if not, then she is in third place. One of the young Czech runners. It's obvious that Eva's one happy woman today. Here comes Olha down the hill, looking like she's still in second place. Good performance on this course on this day. Even though we had good conditions, this is not a fast course. It's a good course. It's a testing course. It's a beautiful course. But it is not one of the places that you come for a personal record or a national record. You just come for a good race. And for her, a check for 750 euros, which is a nice day's work.
She was running alone, and it was quite difficult for her because she didn't plan any special pace.
1 hour, 16 minutes, and about 15 seconds.
She has to congratulate them and
For
say
Olha
thank you
Kotowska.
because they helped her so much. As for the time, she said that she is
So the Ukraine runners had a good day
she
so
ran
far.
so well. She is after the good training which she did on Canarian Island in high heels.
The award ceremony for the men
as for
already.
the project without the African runners, she said that for her it was great to win here in
Two
Carlsbad.
Ukraine runners
She is
and a
happy,
Spanish
but she knows
runner
that,
on the podium.
she would like to belong the best in the world, and for her it's the motivation to work and to work hard for the next races next years.
Sergey Labid in third place. Masami Bernabeu in second. And here comes Kristina Dvorzakova. Sorry about that. In third, 1:17:45, 44. Good performance for her. Very good. I'm sure she'll be happy once she's had time to think about it. She has a 1:16:55 PR, but that was not on this course, obviously. I think that was on a flatter course, perhaps in Prague. Presenting some Bohemian Crystal to the winners. From the sponsor Mattoni. And of course they will get their paychecks of 1,500, 750, and 500 euros, respectively. Once the doping control, the doping tests are back. So the Ukraine national anthem, that's the first time we've heard that here in the Czech race in quite a while. And there's Petra Kaminkova, one of our all-time favorites. Certainly first Masters runner at age 43 or 44. Nice smile. And if she is the third Czech runner in the race, she will get 5,000 Czech crowns. Eva gets, and here comes Ivana Sekirova, who I believe will get fourth place amongst the Czechs, and a check for 4,000 Czech crowns. So for the Czech runners, the prize money was 12,000 for first, 12,000 Czech crowns, then 8,000 Czech crowns for second, 5,000 Czech crowns for third, and 4,000 Czech crowns for fourth. So on down the list, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000, 1,000, 500, 500 through 10th place. A total of 37,000 Czech crowns. And now for the runners, all the runners working to finish their half marathon. Whether they're coming by 14 kilometers or 10 kilometers or wherever they are. Still a steady stream of them will be coming in for the next hour or more. I believe there's a 3-hour limit, so they will be trying to beat that. And most of them will. Lovely evening here in beautiful Karlovy Vary, in the northwest corner of the Czech Republic. One of RunCzech's stellar events. Not the fastest, but one of the most beautiful. And I think the kickoff for the Euro Heroes movement, which Carlo Capalbo had come up with and working with European athletics, was a success this evening. Considering the course, I think the times were good. The crowds were good. Weather was good. And another successful event. And a new direction for RunCzech organization. Dvořáková, third place for the Czech runners. And overall, actually, so that makes her the second Czech runner and 8,000 Czech crowns richer. Sounds like Eva's dog, Bella, in the background there, letting her know she approves. Some medals and flowers for the lead women. Beautiful spring flowers. And again, Mattoni presents the beautiful Bohemian Crystal awards to the runners. And now we will hear the Czech national anthem.
Best relay is the first place of 6th edition of Mattoni Karlovy half marathon.
So wonderful performances by the women, I think, and the men. As I said, this is not a fast course, but, and I've said it several times, I know, but it's a beautiful one. It's a course for racing. It's a course for running. "14 kilometers. 7 to go, folks. 2/3 of the way there." Hurry back and have some Becherovka, the local liqueur, which is somehow distilled from waters from one of the spas, one of the springs here in town. Something of a Czech standard. Two 2 hours and 10 minutes is their goal. Hopefully they're still on it. I would say they may be. Wave at the camera, folks. Get that television time. Some of those numbers you notice with the R in front are for relay runners. The plain white numbers are people running the entire course. Some happy faces. She must have attended the royal wedding today. She had her tiara and her skirt on. That was the competition for this race for television time today. What with the royal wedding in England getting huge coverage. This is a little healthier pursuit. There you get a nice view. In the background, that tower sticking up over all is the hotel where the elite athletes are staying, the Thermal Hotel. Now the awards for the top 3 Czech men and top 3 Czech women. So Dvorakova and Eva can both double dip, get Czech prize money and open prize money. I believe Andra was also in the top 8, so he would get some additional prize money for the open division. Eva's very pleased. I'm surprised, though, Christina does not look all that pleased, considering she finished second amongst the Czechs and third amongst overall. Some more Czech or Bohemian crystal. That's a nice one. Those are engraved with the place and the time. Whoa. Eva and Andra got rather large pieces of crystal. And flowers. A Mattoni photo op. Once again, the Czech national anthem, I believe. So I think a very successful, pleasing beginning to this Euro Heroes program that RunCzech is initiating. Beautiful evening here in Karlovy Vary, beautiful city. And hopefully you'll join us in 2 weeks in České Budějovice for the second iteration of this series. See you then. I'm Jim Moberly signing off for RunCzech and for the Mattoni Karlovy Vary half marathon. Have a nice evening.
konci června Olomouc po sezóně letní, pak sezóna podzimní, to znamená v prvním víkendu v září a 10 Grand Prix, tedy Birel Grand Prix, která už je typickým zahajovákem vždy podzimní sezóny a zároveň také další závod, který patří do klasické série RunCzech běžecké ligy, tedy Ústí nad Labem. Lída Formanová je závodnice, která odvýchává mistryně světa na 800 metrů z roku 1999, teď doběhla také svůj půlmaraton.